This is my question number 3 of my final exam, and it's talking about integrating secondary sources into my writing, and before this class and after what I learned. So, before this class, I didn't really have a secondary source to my writing. I honestly just used my main source and I just rolled with it. Secondary sources was not that developed in my writing yet, but in this class, I did learn how to use my secondary sources into my essay, and I was able to write about them. And so one example I will use is my table talk. So for the table talk right here, I want to go through the instructions first. This really helped me because we had to make connections. No matter what, we had to make a connection. So in each box, in each circle, we had to do a source to self, source to source, and then source to world. And each one of these helped me connect with my topic. Would help me connect with my quotes, and I'll talk about that right now, how I made the quotes. But before, I would just usually quote something from the essay and that's it. I would just leave it there. But now I am able to relate to the quote. I'm able to share it and connect to it, really. So what that table talk did was it helped me develop my essay even more with my secondary sources, because at the beginning I was kind of confused, because I'm not used to using more than like a couple sources, right? Especially not secondary sources, other than my main ones. So now, once I was able to develop this, I know that it made it much easier for me to put into my essay because of everything that we had to do. These instructions right here, the source to self, source to source, and source to world, and putting the sources, ideas, and connecting and relating to what's happening in the world, what's happening to, the issues that are happening, and how can I relate to the topic and all that type of stuff. How can I relate to another idea? It just helped a lot and made me think outside the box. So that's like one thing that helped out. The next thing I want to talk about is using the quotation marks. The quotations and these feedback videos helped out a lot in developing my writing, because it's like a tutorial that everyone needs to watch, because you could always learn something new. And I learned that the way I coded before wasn't the right way. I learned how to summarize, paraphrase, and quote properly this time. And I talk about that in my outline. But these videos right here that we watched, it helped me out a lot, and really made me develop my writing this semester from before. The next thing I also learned was the feedback. So I got feedback from my peers. I also gave them feedback, and this helped me think of a different perspective and solve the problems I was having. So because I was able to solve these problems, I was able to develop my actual essay and make it more better. And all these things that we did, they correlate together, and without one of these things, the essay wouldn't be as good, right? So without the table talks, I wouldn't be able to develop my secondary sources, and without watching these videos, I wouldn't know how to paraphrase properly. I wouldn't know how to quote properly. So I gotta make sure that when I'm writing, I gotta do all these type of things from now on, because that's what's gonna make a good paper. And that's what I learned for question number 3 on how to research, or how to develop my research with my secondary sources, and how it was before and after.